How's it going, people? We just had our little moment of silence without even announcing it for Tony Todd, the man, the myth, the legend, and made some changes for December. Instead of doing foreign beach horror, which we will be pushing that to another cold month, we're gonna discuss, go some through some Tony Todd movies. We're kicking it out tonight with Night of the Living Dead, and you guys will see what's next when we spin the wheel. Two more movies, 2 more weeks. Taking the last week off in December. Just enjoy the holidays and all that good shit. But yeah, we're here for Tony Todd tonight. And I'm happy we're here for it tonight. But how are you gentlemen doing?
Doing all right.
I'm very happy to be here. So thank you.
Always happy to have you, man. Always happy, always happy to have you. Oh shit. Whew. Night of the Living Dead. I've seen this movie quite a few times. I'm just gonna dive right into it. I forgot that Ben dies in this one.
Ah,
And dies in both. Yeah.
Yeah. But just like in the way that it happened, I'm just like, holy shit. I wasn't expecting that. And then what I will say, what I did like about the end, about that part though, is when fuck, what the hell is that? What is his name? I was talking shit about him through the whole movie.
Oh, the
coward.
Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, the coward who has the daughter and the wife who are in the basement of the house. I forget their names also, but they were of course in the first film.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, that was a satisfying kill, but I've already expressed that the ending of this film is, in my opinion, where it really goes wrong. I really enjoyed revisiting this because I saw it when it first came out, I believe via VHS, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't anything special in my opinion. So revisiting it now, it is a very ambitious film and a very flawed film, but one that I can definitely say that definitely Savini, Tom Savini, who did so many effects for Romero before this, directed it and wrote it, or basically just remade it, and Mr. Tony Todd, who takes on the immensely iconic role of Ben from the 1968 film by George Romero, Night of the Living Dead. One of the most important performances of 1968, pardon me, because of social implications. And that Tony Todd, you could tell he had amazing reverence for Dwayne, the gentleman who played Ben originally, and he was just off the walls great.
Tony Todd, he was a really good actor, especially when you gave him roles like this, like a lead role like this. He takes the show. He steals the show. Well, if it's a lead role, he's not stealing the show. But you know what I mean? Like he really, really, really just brings it with the character, with his acting, with the voice. He has a very powerful presence, in these movies.
Very charismatic, and I'm going to paraphrase actually Hannah on this one. Another thing about Tony Todd is he has demon eyes, and that's not a bad thing.
No,
because Tony Todd, when they use Crow is a beautiful example. A lot of the intensity of Tony Todd comes from his eyes.
Yeah,
they're intense. You know, there's very few times you see Tony Todd that it doesn't look like I mean business. So
even when he was turned into the zombie and his eyes are like white and light blue, and he looks over at Barbara, right? It's still the same. I mean, of course, it was a different look because how it's supposed to look different, but still like that same kind of thing in his eyes, what you're saying. And then, really quick, just jumping over to another film with Candyman in the where he's talking to Helen outside, where he's kind of putting her on that right there. It was the voice, but it was his eyes too. How she's like looking, yeah.
What adds such humanity? Like Candyman's a beautiful example. Why we had discussed a couple things about some other like castings, but why Tony Todd works so well is the Candyman is yes, he has that stare. Yes, he has that look. But what makes him special, and honestly is a crime that he wasn't used even more, is he can make evil have a humanitarian, humanity-based side. And that is one of the main reasons why we love Candyman.
Yeah, because I mean, his story, it's
Mhm.
fucking sad. It's
Yeah.
terrible. And then, I mean, all the other stuff. And I'll joke about it all the time. I'm just like, I don't understand why people don't just like when someone says to leave me the fuck alone, leave me alone. Like, you don't have to say my name 5 times. You could just let me relax. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
that's shout out to Tony Todd, Candyman, and DMX if you know your music. but no, seriously though, it's just like I know we're not talking about Candyman, but just really quick, I'm like, you say that name 5 times in a row in the mirror, knowing what can happen. Why? Just why, people?
It's called skeptics. They don't believe in it. So they try it.
Screw that. I still haven't done it yet.
I did. I did Bloody Mary. I did all that stuff.
Bloody man, I'm not scared of a white woman jumping out of the mirror, but a fucking 6'5" black dude jumping out the mirror with a hook. That's scary.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know, something else, not to, so we're here to talk about Night of the Living Dead, but so, some people get very lucky and they get connected to a character that is so iconic, it actually changes the game much more than many people think.
Mhm.
And that monster happened to be Candyman and happened to be played by Mr. Tony Todd. I would say Candyman, as far as an individual film, has had the most influence on analog horror and also the concepts of lore, folklore, urban folklore, all being meshed in this obsession with going back to history and story for plot and horror film. In my opinion, Bernard Rose's Candyman with Tony Todd is that point film for the United States.
I like that. I like that. And we got a couple guests in here, a couple comments.
How's it
80s
going?
horror. What's up, guys? How's it going, 80s horror? We're just here. We're gonna be discussing like Tony Todd in general. We bounce around with random stuff about Tony Todd, but we're also talking about Night of the Living Dead from the 1990. So you guys, everybody that's in the comments, just tell us some stuff that you love about Tony Todd or some of your favorite movies that you've seen Tony Todd in. Doesn't have to be Night of the Living Dead. It could be any Tony Todd movie, and just that's what this month is going to be about for On Horror Research 30. These 3 episodes this month is all Tony Todd movies. Which when we spin the wheel, when we get to it, you'll see what the next one's going to be. But the episodes are going to be like this. Yes, we're going to be discussing the movie. We're just also going to be just discussing our fandom of Tony Todd and just whatever it comes out, it comes out. But yeah,
I'd add to that TV shows and movies, both that you like about.
I'm glad you said because I didn't even know he was in. Maybe I've seen him in TV shows. I'm not sure. I probably haven't. Just can't think of any right now. But I'm glad you said that because now it's something I am going to look into.
I think I did. I just can't remember what show it was.
Watch some of his stuff. But Chad, how's it going, bro? I hope you're. By the way, everybody, I hope your holidays were awesome. I hope your Thanksgiving was awesome and all that good stuff. But Chad, it's always great to have you here. It's always great to see you. And I can't wait to work with you again. I know how our schedules are all crazy and whatever. We're gonna have to do some pre-recorded shit or something because we all mesh well together and we have a great time. Night of the Living Dead, one of the best remakes ever made.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. It's not, usually when it's a remake, they're garbage.
Well,
at times, I won't say always.
Majority of the time. Go back. Think of all the remakes in your head. The
but
only
you
one
also
I can think of is Resident Evil. This one.
Would you say Evil Dead? But you also have to think of.
Yeah, I mean Evil Dead, not Resident Evil. Evil Dead, I mean.
Evil Dead does not count.
Why not?
Let's put that shit on the table right now. Okay, so Evil Dead 1 is what Raimi ended up doing with the money that he had. When Dino De Laurentiis, because he wanted to do Evil Dead, when Dino De Laurentiis bought into that and then produced, if I remember correctly, Evil Dead 2, he was given not as much money as he thought, and by that point the concept kind of changed. So it's a reimagination by the director of the original to basically be able to fulfill what he wanted. So yeah, that I view Evil Dead 1 and 2 as one entity. So yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Sorry, I have very strong feelings about that. So
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. I think James is talking about the 2013 one though. That was awesome.
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that
That
one.
is awesome.
That is
Which,
awesome.
that is honestly,
Damn, I've seen a lot of movies he was in.
we'll discuss that behind the scenes. We'll discuss that behind the scenes. I just got an idea for some pre-recorded stuff we could do together.
But,
So 80s Horror Man said Night of the Living Dead was the first movie I saw with Tony Todd, and it's so sad we lost another horror icon. It really is, man. Like it
might
really
be the first movie I ever seen him in too, actually.
For me, it was definitely Candyman. It was
Oh,
definitely Candyman.
wait, no, it was Candyman. You're right. Candyman was first.
But it's like, shit. This one didn't make me cry. I haven't watched Candyman yet, so who knows? If I start crying watching Candyman, then it's gonna be something.
Okay.
But but the reason why I'm saying that though is because like I watched Lion King after I can't even think of his damn name. Wow.
James Earl Jones.
Thank you. James Earl Jones passed away, and that's my favorite movie of all time. And I was getting choked up when he was just talking to his son about the circle of life, and then I lost it when Scar threw his when he died, and he's just like trying to get his dad up there. And then the last time is when he comes up in the sky and he's talking to him. Oh, he's tearing up and shit. Listen, man.
Hey,
it's one of those things. Like,
it's so good.
It's the first. So that's definitely my favorite movie because it's the only movie I've cried over. Watching. Which is just wild. Wild. God damn! If Whatchamacallit passes away, what's his name? He played in the original White Fang movie, and I'm a fan of his. He was in Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
He was in my other favorite movie, and then he's in a bunch of horror movies I like.
Yeah.
He better stay alive for a while. So I don't need to be watching fucking White Fang crying over that shit. Start watching movies and crying over acting like what the Aaron, this isn't even a sad movie. Like,
I'm not attached. I don't let myself get attached like that.
It'll get even crazy. You start crying over your favorite porn stars, like watching the scene beat.
Jesus Christ! See, Aaron started.
Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to say it.
Well, not on that note, but you mentioned something, James, and then somebody in the comments, I can't see unfortunately, said about this being one of the best horror remakes. I'm not going to argue that with them because this was a remake at a time before remakes were a thing. I mean, they happened, but usually it was of foreign product. And sometimes, but it wasn't part of the cinematic vernacular of what we have from the past 20 years, where, everything is a remake, a sequel, or a reimagination. So that is good and bad with this film in the fact that, well, okay. So real short, because I don't know an amazing amount about it, but this is not the film Savini wanted to make. Savini wanted to make a film that was much more experimental and used a lot of, the original Night of the Living Dead, 68, where Romero is known for his work with Savini and how that pushed gore and special effects. Night of the Living Dead, 1968, can be argued as the most important independent film ever. It was true authorship. It was true, how do we make this look good for nothing? And that was something Savini loved about it. And in his original drafts, it was much more that way. It, in certain ways, stuck even closer to the original film from what little I understand. One of the things about this film that I don't care for is the ending. So the ending of the first film, I'm going to go over that most people know it, is it happens quickly. The zombies come in, everybody's pretty much killed. The older gentleman who represents, the xenophobic white middle-aged male who is on their high horse but really doesn't know what's going on. In the original film, he is bit by his daughter, and when Ben is forced downstairs, he only shoots him after he knows he's a zombie.
Yep.
So after that, you then kind of get a little bit of a montage of stuff going on and aftermath, et cetera, et cetera. And then Ben comes up. It is very ambiguous. Is he alive? Is he dead? He is covered in a fair amount of dust. But this film, the ending is Ben's dead.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
And that is a major like statement that the first film makes. One of what was very important for Romero. This film, and I don't know, but I would go as far as to say that, the studio would look at that today, at that time, 1990, and go, no, we can't touch this. So that's my only major complaint. But I do know, and I hope to, there's a phenomenal book that was just released. I can't remember the author, but I've heard wonderful things that is about, all the lead up to this film being made. Because Savini was not happy with the final product, let's put it that way.
Okay.
But it made money. While I'm thinking about it, because that's another thing you hear about this film. It was a failure. It was a flop. No, the critics ripped it apart. The fans of the original were not ready for a reinterpretation. But still, its opening week, it made over $2 million. And then its gross, Canada and US, was close to about 5.2 million. And the budget was like 4.2. Math, $1 million.
Yeah.
So this was not a failure. And it sucks that it was viewed as a failure because it could have made a huge career for Tony and also made an even bigger career for Savini.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, both our careers could have blown up even more. How's it going, Troy? Good to see you. Good to see you. We're just all in here talking some Tony Todd stuff. So if anything you want to talk about, say your appreciation about Tony Todd, feel free, right in the chat. First movie you saw, last movie you saw, anything.
Mm.
The beginning made me laugh. I forgot about the beginning.
Oh, they're gonna get you, Barbara.
No, yeah, that part, like the teasing and shit. But when the zombie has the brother and they fall and his head hits the tombstone, it looked like a mannequin. I was waiting for the head to pop off and start rolling down the hill.
Oh
It's
shit!
a very playful movie. It seems like that. It's so I think people were slightly disheartened by the fact that, this was a reimagination of the film that defined zombies in the United States and a good portion of the world. They were expecting after Day of the Dead and Dawn of the Dead and Savini and Romero being, and then of course Creep Show, which I think this film actually owes a lot to the film Creep Show. And I'll talk about that later. But it's not a gory film.
No.
In respect to what he could do, it tries to pull itself in like the first film. The first film being in black and white and everything, you could use a lot of stuff. And then also the first film does what Savini did with everything else, is use stuff you buy at a butcher shop. But Savini did not want to make a special effects extravaganza. He was trying to be very respectful to the original film. And, I think that's why some of his fans don't care for it, because there are times he actually intentionally, like the one you pointed out, James, he's intentionally making a reference to some things have to be done on the cheap, like the first film. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that shit made me laugh. I was like, oh shit.
Oh yeah.
And here's Troy said, for him,
Harper's
first
brother
movie
was
was
back in
this
both
one as
films.
well. And then of course the iconic Candyman role. Yeah, definitely a treasure that will be missed. But it's awesome that as far as fans, like for me, I missed him at a con back around here.
Mhm.
A few years back. He was there and I missed it. Money was tight that con, so I couldn't make it. He was there. And there was like one or two other cons I was supposed to go to, and for whatever reason, it was probably financial again that I just couldn't make it. And he was there. I'm just like, fuck, man. Like now it's just, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we still have his movies and all that stuff. So you can still like go back to his iconic roles, hear his iconic voice, see all that stuff. I feel for his family more than anything, more than I feel for us, because I mean that was their, but it is cool to see the fans of him. Like it's cool to like just talk to other fans of him, like each other, and then you just see it around. The respect that you see that I was seeing just scrolling through the internet or mainly TikTok, a bunch of fans. Like it's a beautiful. Like it's sad that it happened, but it's beautiful to see like how many people really enjoyed his film, how films, not just Candyman, just in general, and just kind of, you know what I mean, kind of just have those conversations like we're having now. Again, the circumstance sucks. Why? Because we'll talk about his movies either way, but it's just like, you know. But
Well, he has a lasting place in cinema.
hell yeah.
And whether or not he had great roles or not, he did get one of the roles. And that will make sure that he lives on forever.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Candyman is gonna live on forever. And I got a recommendation for you guys to watch.
Cool.
We reviewed this. I know you've seen this one, Trevor, because I mentioned this before. But for the people out there, you want to see a fun Tony Todd role? Check out Sushi Girl.
Oh yeah, did we review this?
Yeah, we did. That's why it's not on the wheel now. But this right, check out Sushi Girl, people. I'm telling you, you'll have a fun time with it. See, so true, Troy. So true. With these, lots of African American icons we lost this year: Carl Weathers, James Earl Jones, Tony Todd. We must protect Billy D. Williams at all costs. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Intravenous Colt 45.
That James Earl Jones,
16 cc's.
that was an uppercut. That was a knockout punch for me. I didn't think it was. I didn't know. So yeah. So James Earl Jones, as far as like famous people, for me it was James Earl Jones, DMX, and Michael Jackson.
Well, one thing I can say as far as that sturdy is I look at I was very active in radio and interviewing when I was in college during my grad work. And I look back now, and at the time I ended up, talking and interviewing to some really intense people that weren't popular, but within their music form, they were huge.
Yep.
And, it was interesting when I revisited some of these things many, many years later, and these people died.
Yeah.
And it is that feeling of, oh, I'm really happy I did that. And that's the thing, if you really, really dig an actor or a singer, musician, composer, artist, whatever, they really mean something in your life. And sometimes, you're like, well, I can't go to that con or whatever. If you really do think, that you would like learn something from, meeting them, do it. Because once you die, people might remember you, but your ability to tell your story, it's dead.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right about that.
Embrace experiences if you can.
If you can, yeah, like money's right. If your money's right to go do certain things, and it's like I want to do this, but if it's I can afford to do it, I want to do it, just do it. Because like you said, And it may not even be just with meeting actors. It could just be just a certain experience that you're always going to remember.
Yeah.
Go
I
for
mean,
it.
I
But
haven't done it and I won't ever do it. But if you want to meet William Shatner, get on that fucking boat now.
William
No,
Shatner.
yeah, no offense to you, Bill, but
I know a coworker that goes to a con every year that he's at and gets a signature. I
that's
go,
awesome.
you already got a signature. How many signatures you need? It's a
Yeah.
different picture or something every time.
This probably to lead up to how many she can get before he dies.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I've there's well, Felissa Rose. I have a few of hers, quite a
Very
few of
cool.
hers, but she just kind of attracts you to her table, and then she'll talk to you.
But
And
she's
then
still youngish, though. Isn't she's not too old,
no,
right?
I'm just saying, just in general, as far as because you were saying like why he has so many of his autographs. I'm just saying like she's one I have quite a few of.
Hmm.
Oh man.
Well, hers is mainly from Star Trek. So, like, if you had different movies, like if Rose was in,
No, Felissa Rose. She was in Sleepaway Camp.
yeah, but she was in other movies too.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got her. Yeah. It's just like movies and then just some pictures. I think that aren't
Mm.
movies at all. She just looks good in those pictures, and she signed them. My wife was okay with it, guys. You know, this. Now you're living dead. Let's jump into ratings real quick.
So,
Get this over here real quick. There we go. James, what you got for this one?
I'm gonna give this one, like everybody said in the comments and all that, one of the best remakes. It's up in my list. I agree with Trevor in a way. Like I love the original way better.
Same. I do
Uh,
love. Yeah.
because I like how the ending was in the original, all that. But I'm gonna give this one a 7.
7. How about you, Trevor?
I'm gonna go with 6.5. And it's not a hater thing. It is simply this is not the film that was intended.
And
There's so
walked away
much
from the ending.
wonderful about this movie. What was that? Sorry.
I said it took points away because of the ending too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much wonderful in this movie, and a lot of it I took down and everything, but it is flawed. But it also is a very impressive thing to do at that time because it was a very faithful remake.
Yeah.
So yeah, a 6.5.
And I gave it a 7.5, and I did really enjoy it. But I think I would give it a higher score, but I believe I gave the original an 8, and I do like the original a little better than this one.
Yep, same. I gave the original 8. I think 8 or 9.
Yeah,
I forgot.
but
The original is 10 for me. I mean,
nice.
yeah. I
It's
mean, if you take Tony Todd out of this, I will be honest, it's about a 4.
oh wow,
Yeah, that's
I can
how
see that.
good I think he does Ben.
Yeah, I agree. If
fair.
it was somebody else, I agree. I probably wouldn't be as much
I
as.
think a lot of the other characters, uh, they're changed in ways enough that they don't work like Romero's. A good example: the father of the girl who is downstairs and everything. He is in the original. He's middle-aged, white, xenophobic. Definitely a misogynist. All these things. He represents those things, but he also represents somebody who is truly scared to death.
Yep.
This guy, he's just
Yeah,
a dick.
Yeah, he's just an asshole. Yeah.
So, and that's one of the things that, is a downfall and also shows how good an actor Tony Todd is
oh he's awesome.
because his take on whatever he was given was so reverent to, Dwayne's in the original film.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
I also liked how they showed Barbara going through the stages, her just breaking down until she didn't give a fuck no more.
Well, that was an interesting thing because that also goes against that was okay. So this movie, I feel weird saying this as a remake, was ahead of its time, but also behind because at the time it was released, I feel a lot of the original concepts that the 68 was about were still relevant. And still relevant to the point that, to get this made, Savini had to change things. If this film had come out circa 2014, it would have been viewed very differently. Like, the main Barbara's character in the first film is in shock 99.9% of it. And she is also an archetype herself. And there's a balance there, but this is a character that, is, she's taking care of business and then she falls apart. And then she's taking care of business and she's out there with, the good old boys, how horrible this thing is. And it's good. It's a great, it builds upon a couple things. Number one, it gives this original film a feminist context that it really kind of lacked, but it had so much more to say, and you can't say everything. It also gives a bit of a different perspective, but I feel that would have been more appreciated like 14 years afterwards versus, at the time, it kind of felt a little bit like, oh, well, let's do something cool with Final Girl. Like some CEO or major producer was like, yeah, you got crazy ideas. Let's mess with that Final Girl one. That's the kind of feel I got. It didn't, the original one, it is shock, but you feel it all the time. And it is so beautiful because total, complete shock beside Ben's total and complete, I have to survive. But like always, like every fucking day, I've got to survive. And that dynamic was great. This film also kind of veered a little tiny bit into that romancy thing. It was very nuanced, but I didn't like that either. Because
romance and more like he wanted to beat the shit out of her in the beginning.
Well, yeah, as I said, it was a nuanced romance. If you've seen a lot of movies like this, you're like, you can see that they're trying to build this camaraderie between them. And in the first film, it's not that.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, we are two people. We have to stay alive. But we are on total opposites of how we're reacting. So
yeah. This one, he's like, bitch, I'm asking you a question. Answer me.
Yeah, and I mean, as I said, it tries to do some really, really cool things, and so okay, one of the things that's always been a huge question about Night of the Living Dead is, does it ever explain the original 68? Does it ever really explain what happened?
I don't
Well,
remember.
this one doesn't.
I have a bigger question than that.
Yeah.
Which I'll pull the wheel up in a second. I'm gonna get to the comment. Pull the wheel up.
I was like, so my wife mentioned it, and I was like, you know what? I never thought about it. Why was all the zombies drawn to the house?
That's what the people
because they can. Well,
right.
I mean, smell, sound potentially. Also, okay, so let's go to Dawn of the Dead, the second of the Romero films. Why did they go to the mall? Because it was familiar.
Okay,
that could be it too.
That's the same thing. Because if you notice, this film makes something that the 90 film does that the 68 film does not as well. In some cases, it didn't do it. This one did. Is there's identification of some of these people, like, oh, that's so and so. I can't shoot so and so. Bringing back to that idea that these people are heading toward things that they are familiar with, except they have this all-consuming desire to consume flesh, and that's the definition of the contemporary zombie.
See that makes sense.
I like that, the familiarity thing with it that you said too, because that's
well, that's flat out said.
I thought it was sound, but I was like, they're not that loud in the beginning. They started getting loud after when they were all coming, where they were boarding up shit. But before that,
Yeah.
the house was quiet as hell. But the zombies were all going to it like it was their. They owned the house. They're like, "Hey, we're going to go have dinner.
Time to go home."
Yeah, go to the. But yeah, well, that's okay. I forget.
But yeah, but
I was
so
saying something before that, and I forget what it was.
But I'm gonna get to the comments, and I'll spin the wheel. So let me start right up here. The Grandizer 12, if I'm reading your name correctly, I hope I am. If I'm not, I apologize. We said, hello, gents. Remember, the 5th of December, Night of the Krampus, which I love that. That's so awesome. I appreciate you dropping that comment in here. I really appreciate that. Troy, he agrees Tony Todd does make this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's Chad. What's funny is when Savini told us about about movies he worked on when I was going to his school, he never talked about this film too much. Oh wow.
Yeah, it was not a pleasant experience for him at all.
And then here's an awesome question right here. Would this movie have been more successful if it had a different setting, same time frame,
Good
when
call.
the settings, when what do you say, when things started happening, but maybe a larger town? Which we could leave that one up here and discuss that. I'm going to spin the wheel on that, and then I'll get to the rest of the comments.
While you're spinning the wheel, I want to answer that one
Oh
because
yeah, please.
at least for my take on it. So, okay, so why does the first film work? It's 68. Why it was in black and white and everything, honestly, came down to what they could afford. But one of the things that makes the first film so beautiful is its atmosphere and its starkness, and the fact that you can gain fear from the first film, like this film, starts at around 7:30, change of time, and it's still light. So in black and white, you have the nuance to make shadows. In this film, I think Savini took a little bit of a misstep with the fact that it was like, okay, I have to do this in color, but I want to try to recreate it, and it comes off stagnant. It doesn't have the ominous quality that the first film had. So the use of shadows is not a thing in this. And, that's one thing I also didn't care for. I was like, I'm watching it going, if I turn off the color, I wonder if I'll enjoy it even more.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
That's interesting. And I love that. I love that response, Trevor.
Well, it's random brain.
No. That was great. And this is going back to why they're going to the house, Troy. They're subconscious, and then smell, sound. The people, yeah, but like you were saying, people weren't really that loud until like later on when they started.
Why did they go to the mall and dawn?
Well, someone else commented too. They said they believe at night they always had the lights on, so maybe they're attracted to it like moths.
Oh, there you go too.
Yeah, that was also. Now, also, while we're kind of off subject, I apologize, but while we're talking about Romero and the Living Dead films, you've got so the first film, Dwayne Johnson, I think, or Dwayne, I forget. I'm horrible, but Dwayne. Okay, so Dwayne in 68 plays Ben. Ben is very, very important. You take that up to, and Dwayne only really did one other wonderful film, Ganja and Hess, which if you can, please go see it. It is the only other major role that Ben of 68 had. Then you jump to Dawn and you enter another horror icon, Mr. Ken Foree. And now you jump to 90 and you have Tony Todd. And,
Dwayne,
so that Romero soup really made some big inroads into black leading men.
Yeah. Yeah.
Troy hates ganja in this.
Oh, I wasn't a fan of that one either, but I
I
do know where
love
you're
it,
going.
but I love weird, messed up films. So
He definitely does. We all do. That one just couldn't do it for him. But his for Dwayne, it was Dwayne Jones, Trevor.
yeah, Dwayne Jones. Thank you.
And then just to get back to the other comment, recently watched Tony Todd and Tales from the Hood Part 3. I thought it was interesting. I got to go back and revisit that one because
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that.
yeah, it's
I
been a
forgot because I
long,
blend them with all the others. If
it's
I
been a
just
long.
see something for a long time, they start blending.
The first one you won't like. The first one stands out, but the second and the third, I've only seen them once a piece. So I got to go back and watch those two. I know there was one I didn't really care for, but again, I'll go back and watch them again.
Oh, if you don't mind, I want to like kind of adjust something I said.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense to me now. Okay, so this came out in 1990.
Mhm.
And I said that I felt if this version of the film, with everything the way it is, except made like in 2014, would make a difference. No, let's take it to 2004. So if you look at this movie, zombies are not really in the vernacular of monsters as much as we think, but much more than ever before. With that, 2 years before, Wes Craven had a huge bomb with Serpent and the Rainbow, which was based on Wade Davis's traditional zombie concept. This film comes out, zombies are still not a thing. The game changes in 2004 with the remake of Dawn of the Dead. That would have made this film potentially be a very big success. So that's the other thing with, this is a beautiful movie and a beautiful concept and a beautiful love letter that came out at the wrong time, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. Came out at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I could see that too, and especially with like the boom of Scream and all that. Do you think it kind of got I guess maybe overlapped? You know what I mean? Like wasn't really
Well,
pushed.
What's Scream
there wasn't really
1990?
anything out there
I, well,
like
I know
this.
not 1990, but I know it was the 90s. But I also know like with that 90s. I mean, I was only 5 at 1990, but I
Mhm.
also know like when the 90s thing, like horror took like a weird dip until Scream came. So I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it as well.
Well, this is also at the time it was so 1990 horror. Um, Even trying to bring this up to 1990 to remake the first film and to at least touch upon the atmosphere,
Mhm.
it needs to be more of a thriller kind of feel, and that needs to be, and it just didn't turn audiences on. It wasn't what was popular. So it was ballsy that they made it. It's just there was a lot of other stuff out there that was more, popular at the time. So, when with Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, that was, I mean, zombiedom had been growing, but that was the tap that was opened, and all things zombie came out in copious amounts. Um, so, if this film had been made during the initial the Renaissance zombie boom,
Mhm.
I think it would be considered more of a legendary film than it is now. So I think that's where I was running around and getting to. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because Troy did. Well, you just explained it now, but he said Troy said I don't know if it works because of especially with Dawn of the Dead remake. Or
Mhm.
sorry, you have a Dawn remake, and then Grandizer 12 said, but Dawn of the Dead, those zombies could run. I hate zombies that could run. That's scary. That's
Now
scary.
Well,
listen,
is that
walking like
it brought the
this type of zombies where they're really slow and everything. Like if you put yourself in the scenarios, you're like, I might have a chance to survive for a while. If they can run, I'm dead the first day. I am fucked.
Oh man.
so with Dawn of the Dead and the remake, and yes, they were fast, and yes, that came from other films. This film, if it was released like they do kind of now with remakes, as experience, in a new light, a new version, what made zombies what they are. Yeah, people would have gone and seen it. All you had to put was zombie in the damn title and it got a lot.
I'm that same person. I see a zombie in a time, I'm like, oh, the zombie movie. I can watch that.
Yes. I mean, Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, I think it's good. I'll flat out say it. I don't think it's, Night of the Living Dead, but I think as far as like without touching upon Val Lewton and shit, two filmmakers that changed the whole like game for zombies are Romero in '68 and Snyder in 2004. So.
And we got some more zombie talk, which I'm loving this. Keep them coming, people.
I love zombies.
28 Days Later came out when? And mid 2000s, right? Right after Dawn of the Dead.
Well, it might have been earlier. Because remember that the running zombie had been around in other films from other parts of the world and some indie stuff. It just wasn't in the blockbuster like major studio movie thing.
Yeah, as soon as they can run like World War Z and shit, where they can fucking run and train
that was a crappy movie.
All that, hell no.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, 28 came out in 2002 and Dawn came out in 2004. So literally 2 years apart. Well, I mean, I don't know the exact dates, but 2 years apart. And then James guys like us are doomed.
Oh yeah, fucked. Oh fuck.
Oh, there's more. Oh man.
So when I was younger, when I first started watching zombie movies, we used to talk about where would you go to survive, and everybody's like, oh, I'll go to the school, blah blah. It's made out of bricks and all, that type of discussion. And at the time, I was like, I'm going to go to BJ's wholesale house. It's a big warehouse, right? And they got bad food. And I was like, here's the dumb part. Listen, give me credit. It was a good idea until I said this. I said then I would just take all the treadmills and put them reverse outside the door, so when the zombies go on, they fall and fly off the thing.
Oh, yeah, that was fucking.
Then the people are like, if the whole world's zombie, there's not going to be no electricity. The electricity is going to go. And I was like, fuck.
Well, I mean, it is BJ's. I'm sure they have generators. So
and in the beginning, that may work. In the beginning,
it may work.
But the thing with BJ's is like, because you have your food, you have some supplies and stuff. I'm sure you can find stuff to make weapons out of. I was thinking more of like Home Depot. You got all kinds of shit in there, but
you only got wood if you don't have food.
When the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm going for a BJ.
Yeah.
Well, that could be dangerous. I've rethought that. Yeah, I take.
Well, if you get it from a zombie, that's very dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, newly dead people look perfectly like anybody, so Yeah.
You gotta tell by her walk. Oh, yeah, she's walking way too slow. Run. Or she's running way too fast.
My wife came in towards the end of this movie and like probably last half hour-ish. And she's watching and she goes, this makes no sense. I go, what? She goes, okay, they're living. I understand the dead's coming back to life. She goes, but why is that guy walking around with a knife in his stomach? Like he just got stabbed today. Like, what the fuck happened there?
He did. He got stabbed in his stomach.
Yeah, like, wait a minute, like what?
Very true. There's a few that are pretty close around us too. A Walmart and a Lowe's.
Walmart is another good place. Like, especially at the Super Center.
Yes, Super Center, Walmart. Boom. You got upstairs, you got downstairs, you got food, you got all kinds of shit. That's the place to go. Super Center, Walmart.
Well, Albany one's the biggest one. They had the 2 floors. Every other Super Center only on 1 floor.
Oh, so we'll be all right. For a little bit.
We'll be all right. I want to go that one. That would be a madhouse.
Actually, wait a minute. The thing with which I love where this conversation is going. I want to hear where everybody else would try to go to, like, to survive. The thing with going to stores like that, though, is all the doors are glass. So it's like, that's a lot.
But they have gates. That's why you want to go to a mall or something. Ooh. Because usually there will be gates inside, and then also the stores will have gates.
Well, we watched a zombie movie where that didn't really work.
Well, I mean, it doesn't work in the original Dawn of the Dead either, but that's kind of why. That was the reasoning behind it. They still are kind of secure
No, they are secure. You're right. They do have gates or go. Well, there's no food. The mall has food. Yeah. I was about to say like a fucking police station or a prison, like a fucking jail cell or something.
Nah, I don't want to go to prison, James.
Mhm.
I'd rather deal with a zombie than bother.
Listen, I don't think people are going to be diddying when there's a zombie apocalypse going down.
You don't know what's going on in there because they don't. The last people that are telling that some crazy shit like that's going on is the prisoners.
Oh, good point.
But then again, nowadays
No, they have. I think
actually,
they have news on all the time.
I was gonna say not even that. They have cell phones and shit now and internet. So
Yeah, and PlayStation 5s or something. I heard. I don't know.
the opposite direction is sturdy. So you're gonna be going and investigating stuff. I'm going away from the sound.
Oh, it's zombie apocalypse? No, because I know they're attracted to sound. If I hear sound over there, I'm like, no, they're going that way. I'm going the opposite way.
I like this right here, bringing it back to the familiarity thing. The zombies are like, you see the treadmills, like, nope, I don't need to work out. I'm just gonna go somewhere else. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Fuck that. I'm
Get the
good.
cardio day. I don't like
Yeah.
cardio.
Get that.
Oh shit! But no, like a Costco and shit. Like a lot of people have Costco. We have BJ's wholesale up here.
He's saying
those places
Costco.
are the best.
police station. Yeah, Costco. We're getting one up here supposedly.
Yeah, once
Morgan son didn't just
For
move.
police station assault on precinct 13. That doesn't work.
Look, you know what? No, I'm not getting on a boat. Fuck that. I was gonna say getting on a boat might be the best bet, but I'm not.
But where you got to go? You can't just float around forever.
You can fish. There's food. You just gotta boil. Yeah, I'm not getting on a boat. You guys already know I don't like boats. I'm not messing with that.
You run out of water, you're screwed. You can't unless you're on a lake. You can't drink ocean water.
You can't just drink lake water either like that. You got to boil it down just in case there's pesticides and all that other stuff in there.
Well, hey,
listen,
you'll survive somewhere.
I'm just going to have to go somewhere and just try to survive. I just need food.
No worries.
Yeah, Super Center.
Oh, here we go.
Hook yourself up with a prepper.
Gun store.
After that, go ahead and get something that's extremely high, like in Colorado or something, and as secluded as possible.
You know what I'm going to do?
Yeah,
I'm going to
you just have to procure the prepper.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, listen, guys, more than likely, we're going to survive maybe a day or two. Let's just smoke so much weed, grab some weapons, and just go outside and have some fun with these damn zombies.
Dude,
whatever happens.
Perfect place. You go to a gun store, unlimited ammo and fucking guns.
Okay, that was one thing this film did really, really well. And the first film does very, very well. Is shows that, okay, so the major message in this film is who are the monsters? The dead or the people who actually are still living? That's the big question this remake asked. And it's a very long scene with her driving around with these people that, have, this is a sport. This is fun. I mean, it does also, I'm sure he probably put his foot down about this one. There is a scene that has a very direct reference to lynching. And, this is a film like the first film that is asking, okay, yes, these are dead relatives that are coming to eat our flesh. Well, it's honestly the only instinct they have. Mm-hmm. So can you really fault them? No. But driving around, shooting them, hanging them up, actually having like the equivalent of a dog fight.
Yeah.
That shit's gnarly, cruel, and inhumane. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, if everybody listened to the girl in the not in the beginning, when she started like snapping out of it and paying attention and being smart, where she said, "Look how slow they are. We could just walk by them." Mm-hmm. She was right. You could she just walked by them.
Yeah.
It's amazing how something that logical in a very, very intense situation can be ignored. Exactly. Now, in the first film, they can't run away from them.
No, they can't. They're
film, is all over
Yeah.
the place.
Which-
But this is brought up, and I think it's even brought up in the first film. Hey, they're pretty slow. I mean, if we time it right, this film just actually shows it. And that actually was something I did like about that, because it showed how such amazingly basic communication in such a time, literally power in numbers, they would have even gotten further.
Yeah. Which I'm gonna get to your question. I'm gonna pull your question up again, Grandizer. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up now because I forgot what I was gonna say. It's good for me saying all that. But
It sounded like me.
is there an underrated zombie movie, regardless of what era, that you'd recommend? One that you just love, but it's hardly talked about, and why? I'll say one that I don't necessarily know if it's underrated or just not known enough, but The Sadness.
Very good.
And it's my favorite zombie movie. We watched it 2 years ago now, and oh my goodness, it was just, it's gory, crazy, violent. It's one of the most violent zombie films I've ever seen. But this movie right here,
Amazing.
if you've never seen it, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. The Sadness. Again, it came out in either 2022 or 2021.
9.5 movie.
I gave this thing a 10. I gotta watch this movie.
I love this movie.
Like this is one of those movies that, like, if you're into zombie films and if you're into like really gory films, check this one out.
Oh, I got one that I thought it was I thought it was pretty good for a zombie movie. It's called Dead Snow.
Oh, that is a great film.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen the sequels, but it's a German film, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Oh, I mean,
What
It's
year
hard.
for the crazy? Sorry, what year for the crazies, Troy? The OG from '73 or the newer one from 2010? And I'll pull up the movie
Wait,
cover.
I thought the Crazies was a zombie movie?
No, it's not a zombie movie.
Oh,
Crazy
okay.
is not a zombie movie.
What movie did you say, James?
Dead Snow. Dead Snow.
2010.
Let me think here because it's kind of hard.
Just
Okay,
because of a crazy ass movie, Troy. I got you though. Go ahead, Trevor. Sorry.
Okay, so I have to give two, unfortunately, but really quick. Okay, so there's more. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with the first ones I thought of. Okay, so there's a film from the 70s called The Living Dead of Manchester Morgue, sometimes called Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. It was a film by Spanish director Jorge Grau, and it is a beautiful, beautiful film about zombies. And the connection with the zombies is that there's a ultrasonic creation that is helping farmers with pests and insects. The problem is the ultrasonic wave hits a sweet spot that turns someone into a zombie.
Oh damn!
So that Living Dead of Manchester Morgue, that is a truly phenomenal film.
Okay.
The next one is, he did a couple, but I'll write it down. Also, same time period, French, La Grappe c'est Morte, or The Raisins of Death, by Jean Rollin, is just a beautiful, dark, very simplistic zombie film set, in rural Spain. So
what's this one called again, Trevor?
that movie is called The Raisins of Death, or Les Racines de Mort. Usually Raisins of Death, if you put it in IMDb, it'll give you all the various names. But those two movies, I could give you a list a mile long, but those are two very good zombie movies that people must see.
Okay.
Nice. I'm about to pull these up really, really quick. Let me just find this last thing. Boop. And then I will start with this right here. And boom. Because Troy recommended the crazies. Which I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start at the end, or not the end. Yeah, close to the end of the episode. I may just ask, people to just give us a movie to check out, or to everybody to check out.
Troy
This
asked,
re-
"How is Crazy's not a zombie movie?" He wanted to know because Trevor, you said it's not a zombie movie.
Okay. So first of all, I want to say that this is one of those examples of original good and remake just as good. Okay, so Romero made the original Crazies, and this is the remake that you have picked. So the Crazies is actually more of a government conspiracy film than anything else. So if you look at it in the aspect of the contemporary zombie, of the virus type, like there's a virus and there's zombies. This isn't killing people. So default, a zombie has to die before it can be something else. In the Crazies, they're not dying. And there are some rejuvenations but it's a disease. So that's why it's not a zombie film. But also, Romero wrote the book on that crap too. So he didn't just write the crap on the zombie; he wrote the crap on the virus plague film too.
Okay.
Nice. And
I
But
hope
I
he
can see that
agrees.
because like the
Sorry, I
sadness.
don't.
People said the sadness, like if you can, is it zombie or was it like a virus?
Oh, it's
I
a
just
zombie film. Honestly, this is the thing. So pretty much nowadays, in my opinion, what justifies a zombie? Reanimation. And you
Okay.
can paint that however you want. Now, of course, there are very specific creatures, vampires, blah, 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 blah. But a reanimated corpse is a zombie. And that I think is the closest thing to a definition you're going to get. Because, there are movies and there are concepts that are getting away from the Romero
Mhm.
game book, like flesh eating and not running and all that kind of stuff.
nice.
I think World War Z was a virus too, or didn't they need like
Yep.
patient
Mhm.
zero?
Yep.
What?
And do you know the book was written by the son of the comedian Mel Brooks?
Really?
Yeah, the Zombie Survival Guide was also written by his son.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'll get these other movies up and just put
Yeah,
them
that's what I'm saying. So they came out with like different variations of what you call a zombie. So
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, that's why I brought up Serpent and the Rainbow. So Craven, 2 years before this remake of Night of the Living Dead, did a film about the controversial work of anthropologist Wade Davis, who claimed that zombies actually existed in Haiti. So his film is very much, it's like the Fulci of the zombie movies because it's so set in like traditional Caribbean zombie, and also has a very massive political meaning. But that was also a failure because there wasn't a lot of zombies weren't really, they just weren't hip yet. And then once the zombie, and also you can look at Snyder's film, but also Mr. Brooks's The Zombie Survival Guide. Zombie became a catchword, and
Mhm.
it wasn't just movies. Zombies were popping up everywhere, which is basically what they do. So it was
Yeah, you're right. It is funny though when film does that, when there's like a really popular concept and like across genres. You're like, okay, you know
Yeah.
what? We could do that too. We could do that too.
Mhm.
But you're not that kind of movie. This is a porno. That's fine. We can still do it. But seriously, like,
Hybrid pornos are the best. Wait, that didn't sound good either. Uh,
I mean,
hey.
I'm not arguing with that. They definitely get a lot of definitely get a standing ovation. So I mean, you can't beat that. Can't well you beat never mind. That's for a different
you
time.
can always beat a standing ovation.
That's true.
So.
Oh, this is a fun one. I'm grabbing these movies up right now, real quick. And James, you said Dead Snow.
Dead Snow. Yep.
I want to rewatch that now.
Yeah.
We reviewed that, didn't we, James?
I believe so. Yes, we did. Yeah, it was the military one. Yeah, the German.
Okay.
Yeah,
On.
it was. I liked it.
Oh my gosh. Wasn't the original zombie tied with voodoo and witch doctors, like
Yes.
1940 zombie type? Yes. I
Yeah,
just
like
recently
the Val Luton, I Walked with a Zombie. Bela Lugosi was in several things, but yeah, it all comes from, Caribbean Haitian lore. And it wasn't till Night of the Living Dead in '68 that all the concepts of what makes a contemporary zombie were created. Like, this is a guy who was cool enough to wake up one day and go, I'm going to create myself a monster. And he did it.
Mhm.
I
I like
mean, Romero did it.
I like that. Just again showing you guys the covers of the movies that were discussed and brought up.
Okay.
This is a really good conversation
I
tonight.
don't think I ever seen that.
I know I didn't see Let Sleeping Corpses Lie.
Living Dead at Manchester Morgue also. I believe it is streaming. It's very, very good.
I have to check that out.
Sugar
Sugar
Hill.
Hill, early 1970s, considered a zombie movie or more of
Oh,
a
yeah,
dream.
with Pam Grier.
I've never seen that one. Sugar Hill.
Amazing film.
Is it a zombie movie or do they have to be?
Okay. So there are a couple zombie movies in the blaxploitation echelon. Of course, the one you just mentioned, JD's Revenge, is also one of them. But Sugar Hill is
Mhm.
it's one of my favorite of this genre and also that subgenre. So it tickles two of my subgenres, which is a good thing.
Okay, I gotta check that one out. I never seen
Yeah,
Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill is awesome. Also, there's one that's not really a zombie film per se, but has a lot of connections to voodoo and other mysticism, which is called Lord Shango with an S. And it's actually one of the best, like, religious message films I'd ever seen. And it is it never got out of, uh, midtown, downtown cinemas. So
Hmm. Okay.
That's interesting. This was a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
yes, I did. Sorry if I was too bad with this.
Oh
No,
no.
that's great. Nope, wrong one. This was great. We got to watch that one. Sugar Hill truly scared me. Underrated. They rebooted it in '05. I think the early '70s had all. I think the early '70s had all the '70s feel to it.
Mm.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
Yeah, I gotta check it out now too.
I gotta see that.
Yeah,
Oh,
you could talk about zombies for fucking ever.
Mhm. Well, zombie, in my opinion, is the perfect monster. And it's the perfect monster because it is nothing but a body that functions without being alive. Wow, literally a blank slate to use for any message you want to make about virtually anything. So, the first film in '68 is making a lot of comments based on class, racism, xenophobia, fear, where Dawn is making a lot of comment on capitalism and how out of control it is in the United States. Zombies are the perfect monster to show oppression.
Mm.
So, yeah, zombies are awesome.
Nice.
I never even thought about it like that.
No, me either.
This guy Trevor, man, he's a genius.
No, but
No, you are.
thank you.
This guy, what it is, and why I love these conversations is because, like, each of us, including everybody in the comments, we all have like our own perspectives on. We watch
Exactly.
the same exact movie. We have all of our own perspectives and like what we got from these stories.
Mm.
And it's not wrong. It's how what we got from it, what we pull from it. And then I love how we just pull each other's things together if we agree or disagree. And then it's just like, oh,
And
shit,
I like how
see
other
what you
people have more knowledge of stuff that I
Oh,
don't have. And
Well, this is how movie lovers and lovers of whatever, whether it's literature, books, movies, music, this is how we speak together. This is how we bond.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's just one of them. It's one of them dope things that kind of brings back to my childhood. I mean, the conversations wouldn't be as in depth, of course, but as far as just sitting down talking about movies and stuff, horror movies to be exact, and watching these movies, I'm just like, now we're doing it as adults. We're just not sitting in the living room together, unfortunately. But
And substituting that or taking that away because you're adults is one of the worst decisions anybody would ever make.
I love that you brought that up. That's one thing I fucking hate about adults is it's like you remember all the fun shit you used to love doing as a kid, and you see other adults doing it, and you're just like, man, I wish I can do that. Well, fucking do it.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
it. Enjoy it. Like there should be there's no age limit on having fun. There's no age limit on enjoying sitting down, watching a movie, enjoying that and sitting down like what we're doing right here and talking amongst friends. There's no age limit if you want to fucking play your PlayStation 5 or whatever. Enjoy it. It's a part of life. Enjoy life. Do what makes you happy as long as it's not harming anybody or yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. It's
If
great
it's
for your mental.
legal and it's consensual, great.
Boom.
yep.
And it's great for your mental health. It's great for your mental health. If there's something
and respectful, but
Yes.
otherwise there's three things.
Yeah.
Muzzle tough. Live your life how you want to.
Exactly. Like if my advice right here, really quick, is try to do something that you could do for free. And the reason why I say free is because there's always times you want to do something you don't have enough money. And so even if it's playing your game, even if it's doing something, so if it's something you already own, but something you would love doing, try to do that at least once a week if possible, if not once every other week. And if you're not doing that now, just try to make it into your schedule. Try to make that into your schedule. I promise you, give it some time. And no matter how happy, because I'm not just saying this for people that are like down in the dumps. This is for everybody, happy, sad, whatever. I promise you, it's going to make you even happier. It's going to just kind of, even if it's just that mental escape, just for that moment, just for that hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, that moment is fucking important. Do it. And again, this is if you're doing good or bad in life mentally. Do it because it just still adds on. It's great.
If you love something and it makes, it doesn't hurt anybody, like a hobby or whatever, make time for it. It's not childish. It's not that as you said, Sturdy, it is something that is going to help your mental health more than you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely does.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, don't, and also it goes back to the whole thing that it's really all about. Don't lose the joy. I think a lot of people do that, and it's very sad.
They do, and don't let people shame you in losing the joy. Like social media is the worst when it comes to that. Oh, you're a grown man, you're still playing video games? Yes, the fuck I am. And guess what? You wish you were too.
Yep.
Do I watch everyone?
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And just to again get to the comments really quick, going back with agree with Trevor about the zombies. Hang on, agree, and I think Trevor's pointed out the zombies. Zombies are the monsters, but are they? It's how humans respond who may be the monsters, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they're a mirror of ourselves.
Yeah.
True.
And then
and Brandizer, I seen a comment you mentioned about TV shows. I don't know if you ever watched From or Evil. There are two good ones.
From
is on my list. I hear wonderful things about it.
Listen, all right. I'll get to the comments again in a minute, but I got to talk to you about this. Trevor, I need you to do me a favor, my friend. Whenever you get a chance, I know it's going to take a while. I would love for you to watch From, do your research and all that stuff, and then just let us know whether it's here or on Ambassador Media, wherever, what you feel about that series. Because that's one of those shows that you really have to pay attention to. You're going to be locked in because it's, and I know you can say it's about a lot of shows, but this, like, every episode is connected. Every episode is connected. And it's something that, James, you've seen it. You're all caught up with it. You finished season 3, right?
No.
Watch season 3. But just from
I seen spoilers though. I know what happens in season 3.
I'd say just watch it anyway.
Oh, I'm going
But
to.
Trevor's mind though, he will love that show.
I have been
So
recommended it many
much.
times.
And I'm Trevor. I'm not gonna lie to you, my guy, and I love you, right? I want you to watch it for selfish reasons because I want to hear I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah,
But
you are not alone. I have had several people, so that's television is not that I don't want to. It's just I find it easier to watch movies. So I do have a couple shows that are like on my list.
Fair. That's fair, but that right there is like, oh my goodness! I think you would love it. I think you would really freaking love it.
And it was under the radar because it was only was it on was it on MG or was it called
MGM Plus?
Yeah, hardly anybody has that. So you're like, you never heard of it until I'm like, wait a minute, what's this show? So I looked it up. I was like, oh, I gotta watch this. So I found a way to watch it.
I believe it comes on TV too. I believe.
I believe it's they put it on something else now too. I believe.
See, and I love this right here. I enjoy listening to those who have not more knowledge in film and topics. It's exciting. Like I'm with you on that, Grandizer. To where it's so fun to just not only that, but to just when it's your interest, like when it's something that you're interested in, when it's something that you love talking about and discussing, and then you have others in that conversation that can gain knowledge from and give knowledge to. Like
especially about the directors and connections to other movies and shit. Because I don't do the research for that. I don't know stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the stories like where this movie came from. And all the other it started with this first movie. Then I'm like, oh shit, okay, now I gotta go check out these movies that he did, So I learned something.
Troy,
I think into a little bit even lower area here is something that has always fascinated me, and I just love. Even if I'm talking to people and they're talking about something I don't know jack shit about, or even ethically, I wouldn't go out and do like hunting. If there is passion in those people that and I don't care what the topic, if there is passion, like they love it, and when they get together they talk it, that's super cool. It's this beautiful thing you see with people connecting through passions, and it's unfortunately you don't see it too much.
I figure I'll move the comments over there so people can see them.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I agree with that.
See Facebook. So I'm gonna start doing it like this so everybody can see each other's comments because they're on different streaming platforms. You know what I mean? They're on different platforms as far as watching. I like watching. I love how everybody's interacting with everybody in this.
But this is a good topic.
Awesome. Yeah.
This is awesome. Let me move my logo. This is a good night, man. This was an awesome night. I appreciate everybody that showed up in here in the comments with us. Please keep doing this every week and shit. Come see us Saturday over on Popcorn and Pints, 9:00 Eastern time. We're gonna be reviewing the movie Dear Santa.
The new one with Jack Black just came out. The holiday.
But yeah, that's every Saturday we're doing a show, and then every Thursday we're doing a show. We have a great friend over on the Scene Snobs that does this show every Tuesday. We have another great friend that does a show on Saturdays at 7, 3 Geeks. We have an awesome Troy Hill Talks YouTube.
Video Store Clerk does Tuesday. Don't they do Tuesdays?
Video Store Clerk has some dope stuff out here. Like a lot of dope content. A lot of dope content here, people. That's just. And we all have a passion. The funny thing is, we all have a passion for the movies. We talk a lot of film, and Troy does a unique thing where he DJs and discusses music and involves that into his content as well as film. But I love how I'll just speak on the film part of it because that's something we all discuss. And again, how I know we said this earlier, but just how we all get different perspective. We all have different ideas, different things, whether we love or hate a movie. And I love when we all love a movie, but I also love when at least one of us hates a movie. And it's like, like with me and Indiana Jones, I can't stand those movies. I know some people, it's like, what the fuck's 30? How? Why?
You're just okay for me. I understand how they're iconic.
I get all that, but again,
I don't hate.
I like said it on Popcorn and Pints, and I'm going to say it right here on Horror Research 30. I rather watch the live action Dora movie, which I gave an 8.
Yo, that movie was wild.
And Indiana Jones movie, which I gave a 2 to like all of them.
That mushroom scene was
Yo,
crazy.
hilarious. Hilarious. Because it was a live action movie, then they had those mushrooms. The kids don't know what's
It was
going
a
on.
kid movie, man. They had Dora and everybody
So
tripping
for
on
that
mushrooms.
portion, they were all cartoons. They were just like, what's going
Oh
on? It was
shit!
hilarious. I loved it. Loved it.
Oh god.
I do agree with you on that it is an American treasure, but one man's trash is another man's
My
treasure.
problem is when they keep
Yeah.
pumping him out where he's like 75 with a walker. Chill the fuck out.
Oh man. But again, like I threw that out there just for stuff like that, so to where we'll have those conversations and those debates. Not that we're going to change each other's minds, but it's just cool to have different
Mhm.
perspectives as well as similar ones and all
Yeah.
that fun stuff.
Well, I mean, also the fact, some of us have seen some of these movies more than others.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I can speak for you guys also, is movies that we saw in like our teens and we really loved have a very different meaning to us now after we've lived through a lot.
Mhm.
And that's also a sign of a really good movie. If that movie grows with you, it's a really good one. Because
Yeah.
we all have favorites that we revisit after 7 years, when we go, yeah, this is cool, but yeah, that was not as good as I thought. So
Yeah.
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 See, with that, I have ran into that, but I'm also glad, like I said, with the Lion King, that didn't do that
Mhm.
to me. 'Cause that would suck. Like, what
Mhm.
the? But
That'd be
no,
like being run over by boars. Sorry.
I
Mhm.
don't want that. I don't want that. Grandizer 12. I was watching football, the Packers and Lions, but wanted to see if anyone was streaming about Krampus. Your video popped up on YouTube, said Tony Todd, RIP. It's a great Tony Todd, worth a tune. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Even if it's by accident. All good. Thank
great,
you.
yes. I hope you hit that sub button. I hope you hit that bell. But I will say,
E.T., man.
this
Overrated.
this movie here,
Easy is overrated.
I love ET. This movie here,
Overrated.
or not this movie, sorry, this month here though, like I said, I don't know if you caught it earlier, we were going to be doing foreign beach horror.
Mhm.
Just to be different, but because of Tony Todd's passing, so for the next 2 weeks, because we're taking the last week off, we're going to be doing Tony Todd movies, which I'm going to keep talking for a little bit, but I'm just going to let you guys know the movies for the next 2 weeks, which I
Yep.
mean, for the viewers, I don't know where you can find them. I can get that information Google, but I
I
believe
don't know
Prime
if
and all
I
that stuff.
It's
But
really good.
Shadow Puppets is one. I think this one is on Tubi. We're gonna be
I
doing
never
this
seen
movie.
this.
Me either. This one we're gonna be doing next Thursday, and then in 2 weeks, a week from Thursday, we'll be doing this movie right here. Stream.
I
This
never
one I know
seen
is
this
on
either. This
Amazon.
is newer.
Yeah, this one just came out this year. This one I know is on Amazon Prime. I believe the other
Okay.
film is on Tubi. But we'll be doing those two movies. And
You got another.
okay. Time Bandits and ET for
Sequel.
Troy. He said those two movies ruined his childhood. That's what you're saying. They ruined his childhood.
Yeah.
For
Okay,
rewatch
so
those
think about
scenes,
this.
I still like
If-
ET a lot. I just
But
sure do.
think if you're a child in a short, naked, wrinkled something that may be human
Looks like a turd.
scurries up to you and then takes his finger and goes,
Uh-oh.
"Eh."
Yeah, and try to put it in your butthole. I know.
Whoa, James, that didn't
Well,
happen
I
in the
mean,
movie.
okay, so at the time, I mean, I'm part of that generation which like ET was when ET had guns in it. That's my generation.
Oh,
They made this ET finger that you stuck on your finger, and it was so phallic. It was amazing. And I remember that a friend of mine, Mindy, I won't say the last name, Mindy, was freaked out by ET. And I used to chase her around with that finger.
That's
see, you're a
hilarious.
good friend because I would do the same thing. As a matter
I
of
hope
fact,
you. I hope you didn't
I
scar her in
was
future life when she
I
went to a
never had
sex
a
store.
latency period, so that might have been a thing too. So
Was she
So-
scarred when she got older when going to a sex store? She can't buy certain items because they look like it.
I think she's actually, I mean, I think she's actually a minister now, actually.
Oh, shit.
Extraordinarily
Okay, never mind.
liberal.
you straightened her
Extraordinarily
right
liberal.
out.
Amazing human being. Yeah, amazing human being.
That's
So,
awesome.
Possibly Unitarian, but I can't say exactly, so I won't. But a similar denomination.
Wait a minute.
It's a
I'm gonna
really
go back to
phenomenal.
this.
Yeah.
You're the reason she's a minister.
Yeah.
She
That's
got
what
a
I
she
think.
got a
She
afraid
has kids and she had a husband. Didn't scar her from all future fingerings. I mean,
I can just picture
it
you running
makes sense
around
as a
chasing her with the
sentence,
finger.
Oh,
That shit's hilarious.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
Holy shit, man. Oh, man. Tonight
I
was a
kind of
fun.
remembered the fucking finger. I never had, but I think I remembered the finger. I remember seeing it at Toys R Us, I think.
Yeah. Phone home, pull finger. It would have been a totally different movie if like, smell my finger, Drew.
Oh man.
That is a wild looking finger. I cannot lie to you. Whoa! All right. Hold up.
I mean,
Hold up.
E.T. did, he had an extraordinarily nice finger considering, E.T. So.
Oh shit.
Do you remember the joke about E.T.?
Yo, god damn, man.
Okay,
That's
so you
crazy.
call somebody E.T. and you were
You know what that
testing they
looks
had
like?
an extra testicle?
That looks like a long ass finger that just came out of a butt.
It definitely screams probing. Yeah, it definitely a probing instrument.
Oh shit.
E.T. probe home. Probe
That's
hole.
wild. That's wild.
E.T. probe hole. Yo, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh man. Oh, there you go. That would be an interesting
finger.
Creepy toys, a good topic for future stream.
Oh yeah.
Creepy toys.
There is some creepy fucking toys out there.
Could be. And then just to go, well, Troy did answer the question of to the comment. I would have loved to have seen what happened at the island of the remake, of the Dawn remake.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to pull up the question that was asked, Trevor, I already know you have an answer for this. Is there a zombie film that you believe should have gotten a righteous sequel?
Can I think about that for a little while?
Of course.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That is a tough one because there's so many. So you got to think, you're like, what don't have a remake yet? That you're like, what would work?
He's saying more of a sequel than a remake.
Oh, I mean a sequel. Like, yeah.
No, Train to Busan was a sequel. It had a prequel.
But the thing is, with sequels, they usually bomb too.
Train Busan, then they made a prequel to it.
Prequel to Peninsula, which I still have to watch.
I think it's a movie that.
But I don't know. I gotta think because
that's
a great question. May have to table that for another. May have to table that for another episode. Just make that a
zombies to be continued.
Yeah, that'll definitely be to be continued. But I love that question. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna copy that so I don't forget it and save it over here.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I've got a couple. I gotta think about that.
Where's that? Notes.
They already did the sequel with Train Busan. Busan is the New York City one.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? Did that come out?
Yeah,
the American version, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's not a sequel, was it? No, that's a remake.
Yeah.
Or what's it called? Whitewash? Americanized? I don't know what people call it.
American, yeah, that's the Americanized, watered down. I don't know. I haven't seen it though.
I don't think I've seen it either.
I have an answer.
Oh, you do?
Here we go.
It's not completely a zombie film, but it is. And that would be, I would love to have seen a sequel. Okay. I thought about it, but I would have loved to have seen a sequel to. Okay, so the first thing in my head is I would love to have seen a sequel to Peter Jackson's Brain Dead.
Oh,
I think that would have been that kind. it was good for him because he got to make beautiful. I think it was no, but he got to make some movies. I think The Gift was the first one. No, that was Sam Raimi, but he got to make some movies because he made that. But that is one of the craziest zombie films ever made. So yeah, that would I would say.
That's a good one. I forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of the only one that I can really think of that really would need a sequel.
And then Troy asked, "Did Vin Rain's character have a twin in the Dawn or something? The Dawn movie? I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I remember.
You don't remember that one either? Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna think on and try to come back to you with that. But I may open it up more if you're cool with it, Dizer, to just like horror films in general that had like a one film but the sequel, yes.
Mhm.
But it had the one film that could use a sequel, or we think could have a nice sequel to it.
Oh, Dead Alive, aka Dead Alive. I've seen that.
Yeah,
That's
Dead
right.
Alive, Brain Dead, great film.
Dead Alive,
That's
yeah.
right. They had two names. That's right. I seen Dead
Yeah.
Alive. Okay.
By the
Wasn't it
same
from-
director of Lord of the Rings.
Peter Jackson, yes.
Mhm.
Oh, that movie was so gory. The freaking the not the helicopter, the lawnmower scene.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Oh, that shit made me laugh. Because it was just fucking out. Like, god damn.
Yeah, that movie was crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. I'm gonna have to watch that. I gotta watch that movie again. I gotta watch some more zombie movies again.
Yeah, me too. This is
might
starting
have
to put me into like a zombie kick. I'm gonna fucking come down.
Yeah, same here. So we're gonna put the brain trust together. I gotta look at my schedule for 2025, but we gotta do a month of zombies.
Awesome.
Shit.
Bad Taste is Moo shit too. What?
I think it's mine.
Moo shit too.
Oh, my shit too. Okay.
Oh, Bad Taste is amazing. Also, Meet the Feebles, if you can find
that
it,
movie
is a must.
Meet the Feebles is wild. We reviewed that.
Meet the Feebles. Oh my goodness!
I always loved the rat who sold heroin named Trevor.
Oh my god, that movie was insane. Then we reviewed the puppet one with Melissa McCartney with it.
Oh yeah, that was just not as good.
No, it's not as
there
good.
is a film called Let the Puppets Come, which is a porno. Yeah, but Peter Jackson's is still the best. That actually is kind of considered a trilogy: Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, and Brain Dead.
Wait a minute,
and they're all about excess.
Did we interview the guy for Meet the Feebles? There's going to be a part 2 or something, or was that a different movie?
That was
there will never be a part 2 of Meet the Feebles.
Oh, that was a different movie. Then it was something else.
It was one of those weird movies we watched though, but he did come on for an interview. He was making like an independent version of it, right?
Yeah.
Shit's crazy. Yeah.
But Meet the Feebles, man, I watched that. I was like, what am I watching? Then I just fucking started losing it on certain scenes because I did not expect it. I was like, how did this make it on fucking...
Oh, so it was the Happy Time Murders and Meet the Feebles, and it was episode 69.
There you go. That's right. That's why it was another. We made it for 69. That's right.
I'll say this.
That's funny.
I will say this.
That shit. That episode's funny.
That I have never laughed so hard. The Happy Time Murders. If you go to our Popcorn and Pines page and just type in the Happy Time Murders, and you watch us do the trailery thingy, I think it's on there. I was laughing so hard I was beating my chest.
Aaron was losing.
That trailer was just had me in tears and everything. And then when I went back and watched the movie, I was laughing even harder just because of what built up to that scene. I know we're talking about something completely different.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this. I appreciate and I want to thank each and every single one of you for tuning in, chatting with us, having a good time, spending your time with us. And we will be here again next Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. I'll show you the movie again. And it's on Tubi, I believe, which, hey, if you guys can watch it, I'd love for you guys to be in the comments talking about it, discussing it with us.
Definitely.
But this movie right here, Shadow Puppets. And again, thank you all. Thank you for the new subscript. Thank you for subscribing, by the way, again. Grandizer 12, thank you for being in the comments and all that, and just come up with some great questions and great conversation. And
Yeah.
same with Troy, same with Chad, great conversations. We had a wonderful time with you guys. And I want to say this, make sure you guys go check out Ambassador Media.
Thank you.
Make sure you guys go check out Popcorn and Pints, Horror Research 30, Video Store Clerks, Troy Hill Talks. And we're going to get on out of here. I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace and thank you.